I'm Tamara and welcome to my channel. And today we're going to talk about Kanye West and does he deserve a pass? Because he said that he was diagnosed bipolar, which now he's trying to say that he was just exhausted and that it's really not bipolar, and people turning against him created the anxiety that caused him to behave the way that he did. But if you understand bipolar, which is really a brain disorder where you feel real highs and real lows, they can dip deep into depression and they can go up into euphoria where they feel like they are just amazing. He does have markers of bipolar. And some people might think that he's a narcissist because of his grandiose tendencies, but I don't think so. Knowing narcissists, I don't think so. I think it's the bipolar, because bipolar people can go into this grandiose fantasy place where they feel like they have a lot of power, which narcissists, they are hungry for power. So I can see why people get the two mixed up. But Kanye, I don't think that he means, I think he means well. I don't think that he is out to sink people. That grandiosity where he starts bragging about himself and I can do all things and I could be president and I can be all these things. And remember when he stood on stages and he spoke for like 30 minutes accepting an award, because they have these thoughts that race and they can be really creative in that space. So knowing that, should we give him a pass for the things that he said about Jewish people? And by the way, I keep trying to find, what did Kanye, who now says formerly known as Kanye, so he wants to be called Ye, so I will call him Ye until I forget, and then I'll call him Kanye.
Can somebody tell me what he said about Jewish people?
I am not refuting that he did say something against Jewish people or about Jewish people. Can't really talk about specifics because it's like everybody's saying he said something about Jewish people. Maybe he said it several times, or did he make some insinuations? Did he make direct insults? I can't find anything specific. So if anybody knows exactly what he said, do you mind sharing? The other thing about him is he's an ENTP. For anybody who knows Myers-Briggs, that really fits his personality. Some of the things that he does, like shock provoking, or I'm going to play the other side of the fence, or I'm going to say something that catches your attention or that doesn't fit in with exactly what society says I should say and how I should do and how I should act. There are people who know how to kind of get everybody's goats, but they're also very deep thinkers. They want to think outside of the box. They're objective. Unlike many people, they're not worried about what you think of them because they're objective about things. So they don't particularly care if you agree with them or not. So that part of it is personality. I think you have to be careful. We all have to be very careful not to insult other people based on race, gender, religion, all of that. It's not that we can't speak our opinions, but certain things are off limits. Because when you look at what Jewish people went through with the Holocaust and just all the trauma, we can't disregard that.
No.
That is an area in which we must all be sensitive, because we have not walked in Jewish people's shoes. Well, some people have because they're Jewish. But the rest of us, I can't speak to how they feel. I can only imagine the devastation when they think of what they went through. Because you are bipolar, this is so tricky, because when you have a disorder, it plays a role in how you function. If it wasn't a disorder, then it wouldn't be in the DSM-5. They wouldn't treat it with medication. there are things that kind of go beyond your control. And it's the same thing with borderline personality disorder, narcissistic personality. It impacts your skeletal makeup. Do we give people with a mental diagnosis a pass? Most people aren't going to even know that these people have any type of disorder because they don't know, they've never been exposed to it, they've never studied it. All they know is, wait a minute, you're hurting my feelings, you're insulting me, why are you behaving that way? I think Kanye is very intelligent, he's very smart, he's very creative, he knows a lot of things. I think he is gifted, but he still has that undercurrent that is playing a very strong role. And nobody, by the way, wants a disorder or to be labeled with one. That is painful, hurtful. It's scary, I can imagine. So I'm not in his shoes either. But I still ask you the question, does someone with bipolar get a pass? It plays a role. Maybe we have to take it case by case, but I think in his position,
No.
we cannot give him a pass because he's creative, he uses his intelligence in many ways, but you are on a public platform, and even if he wasn't, I think the fact that he is and that he can have such a huge impact on how people think. I mean, think about the shoes that people have purchased because it has his name on it. So certainly something that he says, especially in regard to Jewish people, is unacceptable. He has too big of an influence to get a pass because of the bipolar. If you know that you have bipolar, then there has to be some level of responsibility. You've got to take your medication. You know that you have been said to say things that are impactful in a negative way. So you might need to guard against when you speak, how you speak. Let somebody else do your tweet. I don't know. I'm not bipolar, so I can't even completely speak to how that must feel or how much they can control and what they can't. I'm just saying, if you're on a public platform, not even if you're on a public platform, even if you're not, there are certain things that are unacceptable. There are certain things that are not acceptable. And think about people who are in prison. I would say a large majority of them probably have some type of diagnosis in the DSM-5, honestly. And we don't give them a pass. We say, you're not functioning in society in a safe way. Or you're not following the rules or the orders of the land. You seem to defy them. So we are going to put you in a place that protects other people from you. It seems that the way our society is built, we don't give passes for diagnosis. Not really. We don't function that way. I think sometimes people with those diagnosable disorders can be incredibly hurtful, and people don't like me to say that.
No, don't say anything.
But they can. They can wreak havoc. They can do a lot of damage to people because people don't have the same defense mechanism. You have this person who's walking and talking and working and thriving and doing all these things, and they're doing and saying things to you. So Kanye, no, in my opinion, can't give him a pass. You know, he has to have consequences just like everybody else, because consequences, even though everyone hates them and it feels really terrible, sometimes it is the thing that can cause someone to change their ways, take their medication, function differently in society, take charge of who they are. But you give me your opinion. You tell me, should Kanye get a pass because he's bipolar, even though now he's trying to say that he isn't? Check out my book, Workplace Narcissist, which is about narcissistic, difficult people. Some people might say Kanye is. I don't think so. I think it's just the bipolar. And then I also wrote a book called Flip the Script on Love. It's by Tamara Hunter Zyon. So if you need help in the love department, you have a wonderful day. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye.